Hi, gorgeous neurodivergent soul. This is Robbie with InnerPowered Life. And if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by to check me out. And if you don't know about me, I am a late diagnosed ADHDer who, like many of you, experienced a lifetime of bullying and abuse situations. And at some point, I got tired of it and I didn't want that to be my story going forward. And so my mission with this channel and with my coaching practice is to help all of you also discover that you can take your power back from bullies and abusers. And so, one thing I have discovered in my journey that the foundation for learning to take your power back is having a healthy identity. And there are a lot of things that can go into creating a feeling of powerlessness in us where we identify as someone who has no power and who is a target and who is a victim and feeling like we will always be stuck in that role and that paradigm in our lives. And there are a lot of factors that contribute into us having this kind of identity, and each of them deserve their own discussion. So I'm going to do this whole discussion in parts, but I'm going to start with the most obvious. The most obvious factor that contributes to us feeling like targets and victims and feeling like we don't have power is taking on the identity that the bully and the abuser wants us to have. And their whole purpose is to want us to assume the role of the target, of the victim. And for a lot of us, this started when we were very young. If we came from a living situation of abuse, or then we are bullied or abused in school system settings or wherever, that became our foundational wiring is that people are doing things to me, I'm powerless to fight back. And even as adults later, we carry this through and we tend to react the same way in situations that trigger a feeling of being bullied or abused. We also tend to attract that, not that it's our fault, but because that is our wiring and we don't have a strong sense of self outside of that, we can let people take advantage of us or settle for less or get into situations because we don't think it's possible for us to have better. So, how can you figure out exactly how you may have taken on an identity from your abuser? Again, the first one is just feeling completely disempowered. If someone criticizes you, if there is an authority figure, which could be a peer, a boss, a partner, a religious figure, an actual like law enforcement, or something else that represents an authority to you. When you automatically feel disempowered and that you can't stand up for yourself without fear of being punished, you know that you have this very deeply wired in you. And it's a common thing that I hear from neurodivergent people is we are afraid to stand up for ourselves or to be ourselves or to take our power back or draw boundaries because we're afraid of being punished. And this is a very valid fear for many of us because a lot of us, our life experience was that. And some of us are still in situations with abusive bosses or abusive coworkers or abusive partners, or maybe we still live with an abusive family of origin, or we're in a national or political system or some other kind of cultural or social system where we can, in fact, be punished in different ways. So, how do we start learning then to not assume this victim and target mentality? The first is realizing your value just by virtue of the fact that you are a human being. You are valuable. You're here for a purpose, and you weren't created to be somebody's target and somebody's victim all of the time. And once you start getting this concrete feeling in yourself of, hey, I deserve better, it becomes easier for you to expect better and to start taking steps where you get some better treatment from people. And an easy way to kind of start helping you navigate this as you're in threatening situations is to stop and think, okay, do I want this to be my story going forward? No, I do not. Do I have rights as a person? Yes, you do. And you can start slowly in a way that's easy for you, step by step, standing up for your rights in a situation. You can draw boundaries and say, no, I'm not going to do this. This goes against my values. No, I'm not going to do this because this is dangerous. No, I can't do this because I have a medical condition or I have some other condition. This is not safe or right for me. And I deserve better than you speaking like this to me. And I'm not going to deal with this and I'm going to leave. We don't have to get angry or blow up at people. Being in your power and not being a victim is also dependent on you maintaining control of yourself and calm, even if you feel anger or fear inside, not spewing that out, just remaining an adult in control is usually empowering and is a very good way to combat abuse and bullying that is coming at you. The other is being willing to walk away from a person or a situation because nothing and nobody is worth bullying and abuse. It's not worth it. And in the end, it's not even sustainable to stay in these situations because it will take a toll on your mental health and your physical health. And you'll get to a point where you can't keep doing it anyway. So the next time that you start hearing words in your head when you're in a situation where you're afraid you're going to get punished, or, oh no, I've seen this before, this person's going to do something to me, I'm not a nice person if I stand up for myself, something bad's going to happen, and freezing, start rewiring your mind. Say to yourself, no, no, I don't have to do this. And it can be scary to start standing up for yourself when you have been afraid all of your life to do that. But you can do that. Be cognizant, start noticing when the voices that you're hearing, or however it is you perceive your interactions with the world, sound very much or look very much like previous situations with previous bullies and abusers. Because when you're hearing that, even if you hear it in your own voice, more than likely this is you reacting again to an old pattern. When you keep reacting the same old patterns in the same old way, you get the same old thing. It stops when you decide that it stops. When you start standing up for yourself, guarding your boundaries, not taking people's mess, but doing it in a way that's controlled. You don't want to be angry or hysterical or some way that makes you look unhinged, right? Retaining your dignity is a huge thing because abusers and bullies they want to strip your dignity. That's a primary thing. If they can take your dignity and your control of yourself and your sense of self, then they have you and they can keep doing the same thing over again. So start thinking as you encounter these situations, what is the voice of past abusers and what is me? What can I do differently in this situation that I don't fall back into the same pattern? And you can start in little steps. Just start in little steps, little victories, little drawing boundaries. And as you start doing it, it starts getting easier and easier for you to do it. And you realize it's not just you pretending or stepping into a role just at the time to get through it. What you're going to be doing is actually tapping in to the real authentic part of you that is a powerful person, because you do have inner power as a person more than you even realize. Your thoughts influence what happens. Your words that you speak to yourself or to the outside world also influences what you experience in your reality. What you want to do is start getting in touch with the you who was powerful inside all the time. And a lot of us, as when we were kids, yeah, they have challenges. They can be overpowered physically, but a lot of kids don't start off with this powerless paradigm, right? They're like, no, I'm not going to do this. And they stand in their power and their boundaries. We all have that still inside us. You just have to get back to it. And this just takes a commitment and work to really understand and internalize and accept what you have within you. Your power that you have inside can feel dangerous if you're not used to operating into it. And a lot of us can be afraid. We equate power with evil or people overpowering us. And that's not right. That's an abuse of power. We all have power inside of us to accomplish good things and to take care of ourselves and to do everything that we were supposed to do. We don't have to give that away to evil people and just lay down and take it. So if you are interested in tapping into this for yourself and getting back to the person who knows that they have power and you want extra support, I would love to work with you. I've been on this journey myself for years, and I've gone back and forth, and I've gotten new challenges that I've overcome, and I've seen so much difference that it's made in my life when I decided I wasn't going to be a victim and I know who I am inside, even if there's more for me to explore with that. And that nothing was worth me spending the rest of my life being a victim. If you want somebody to help you walk through that and give you feedback and insight maybe from outside of the situation, please contact me. I would love to work with you. I also do offer communication coaching for relationships and for workplaces. And being able to communicate effectively is also a huge step in taking your power back. So please reach out to me if you would like to work with me. I will catch you all soon. Be blessed.